Hello everyone, this is Rare Model Reviews here, and today we have the Master Grade 1 to 100 GM 2.0. Now this actually is a nearly 20-year-old kit, but I've actually had this thing for a while now, and it's been sitting around. You may have seen me showing off in a review here and there. Since I said I'm going to be doing as many reviews as possible this week, I figured why not? It's a simple, quick kit to review. So I've actually did a good amount of coloring on this thing. Straight out of the box, it comes with this reddish, orangish almost color, kind of like a faded red, I guess you'd say. And this like seafoam green. And of course, for those of you who don't know, the Gundam RX-78, they'd have to call it that, but that version, the 2.0 for that came out first, and as Bandai usually does, they kind of take stuff and make as many variants of it as possible. So that's what the GM is. Basically just uses a lot of pieces and whatnot from the Gundam 2.0, and as you can see, like the beam saber there, that's white. Doesn't even match the body, but one thing that's always kind of bothered me about this thing that I noticed when I started watching over the original show again is this thing was not green in the show. It's kind of like this tannish color, so I don't know where the hell they got this green from. But just like the Gundam 2.0, it's kind of cartoonish looking. You know, that's what they went for. They wanted to look accurate to the show. But colors. I'm sure as you saw when I was kind of spinning this thing around, the visor here, it came in this like kind of light slime looking green, but it barely showed a look more clear or anything. So I actually ended up kind of taking a head apart and coloring the back of it with a Sharpie, and I think it turned out really good. Like, I'm sure you guys will see how well that green kind of pops out in comparison. There, like I said, there was a clear green piece that kind of covered the head, and the front and back visors there, but I had to color that in. I don't know why this thing has so much trouble focusing, but of course, lined the beam saber around there. I did a gray. I probably should have did it black though, because it looks kind of faded. If you guys can make that out, colored in the thrusters there, the insides there. And I didn't really line this thing too much. I didn't feel like it really needed, but I did do like little diagonal slots in the backpack there. And you'll see a few more lining with the weapons, but I feel like I kind of lollygagged with this a little bit longer than I should have. And I think I colored the focus. But anyway. Now, one thing I wanted to mention, when I took this head apart to color and whatnot, it got super duper loose. It was not like this before. Or maybe I didn't assemble it right. I don't know. But that's kind of a casualty of war, I suppose. But anyway, going straight into articulation, as you can see. It's on multiple joints, so I can look up pretty well. Not too much back. Oh, there's a ball joint, so I can wiggle side to side a little bit. Stiff when you spin it around, but it can't get 360. Let me see. Guess I'll go into it's not really articulation, but there is a cockpit opening gimmick there, and then there's this little tab here to cover the cockpit. I kind of hate that they did that though. Sometimes it's hard to get it out. I was actually couldn't easily get out this time, but if you can make it out, there is a pilot figure in there. It's colored in gray though, so you can't really see it, but yeah. Just kind of close that up. I'm pretty sure you can open this out too, but I can't get it to do that ever. So the vents here are supposed to move a little bit. This thing is a full inner frame. I'm not gonna bother showing that, but me taking that apart when I kind of crunch the vents here a little bit. I'm sure you guys can make that out. So yeah, be careful with that thing. Doesn't really count as articulation, but the beam saber can spin around in there. Also, again, this harkens to the fact that this is using the Gundam 2.0's body and whatnot, but as you can see there's a second area there for another beam saber. So you technically could get two beam sabers here. This one only comes with one though. You can also close those up there. So that's actually kind of cool. And of course, if you wanted, you could change the beam saber over to the other side. So that's pretty neat. Articulation. You can see here, oops, I don't know. Well, there you go here. Nice look at the shoulder. So, yeah, as you can see, the shoulders kind of move out like that. So that's great for shooting poses. So on multiple little joints here, so you can spin these around. Perfect posability for the arm. As you can see, there's like a little space in the elbow there. So I'm sure as you guys can see right here, this is an older kit, but it's still like, I mean, I said this in a few of my reviews from a while ago, but by the time I said around 2006, any kit from like 2006 onwards, it's usually pretty solid. Of course, there's still some stinkers here and there, but you know, articulation isn't an issue for this thing at all. Of course, you get to the more modern kits, they'll blow this thing out of the water, but you know, it's still not bad. And I know I'm talking, but I'm still kind of showing off some of the articulation. But as you see with the fingers there, you notice, oops, those things had like little, these are the 3-1 thumbs for starters. Well, actually not even, these things are all individually pulled. I think I might have had to cut some of them out or something. But no, these are still connected. It's just the fingers, the fact that the fingers move. But it was extra notches or whatever. But that's one thing. This thing's a little hindered by the waist armor here. They are very obstructive. Oops. Also, they pop out a lot. But this thing would be able to do the splits otherwise, if you can pop those out. And again, this is I had this kit for maybe about 10 years now. As you can see, it's still pretty tight, the joints and stuff here. The back armor here is like connected together. And this actually falls off a lot too. And what I was saying before about alternate parts, I think if you wanted to, you could do alternate parts of it to make these two separate. Because these are separated by like the same, like I'm sure you see when this thing popped out, there's like a little ball joint, you pop that piece in, but you would be able to get it separated otherwise. Now moving on, you see the legs, again, perfect articulation. You got that little knee pad type thing there, just like the arms at the elbows. Ankle articulation, you see it wiggles a little bit. The knee guard moves up and reveals the pistons in there, which is very nice. Toe can move up very high. This, again, because of 2.0, where the toe could go like that so it could fit in the G-arm. You see the little toe splits there too. And one gripe I have kind of about this foot, although it is nice that I can do all of this, it also kind of screws up the stability a bit, as it's a little hard to get this thing flat-footed. Also, this piece here falls off a lot. So it's not really held on by anything. It just kind of pops in there. But I guess that kind of covers articulation, huh? Also want to mention, because I guess we're kind of getting the gimmicks here at this point anyway. Again, this is being a leftover suit or whatever slap job from the Gundam 2.0. It has a core block. So I actually do have other kits around time this thing was created. I'm sure you can fit the core fighter in there. I'll show that off with a different kit. But you can't technically take the core block out and still have this thing pieced together. It's just the fact that without the core block, it doesn't stay in as securely. Sometimes I even find out even with the core block, this thing doesn't want to stay in too well. But if you want to, you can really kind of paint this thing up, make it look good. So yeah, going on to accessories. Got the beam saber here. It has a peg in it. And of course, it actually comes with 2 clear pink beams. They're too lazy to just do a single beam. But you just spin that in there. It's the standard one size fits all. And personally, I find it fits in the hand just well without the peg. But I mean, again, what I was saying from my review yesterday, you know, I personally missed the 3-1 and thumb hands. I never really had much of an issue, as you can see here. You get the beam saber in there, there's no issues with this one, you know. So I'm gonna take that out. Oops, daisy. Next accessory, we have the beam spray gun. So once again, there's a peg for either side, so you can put it on either hand. We're gonna be simple and just put it in the right though. Again, fits right in, no problem. You know, pass the shake test, you know, like these were things were simpler and easy. Let's see. Next up, we have the bazooka or hyper bazooka. It's another leftover from Gundam 2.0. It's like this little handle that here that hinges a little bit. I don't think I really color anything on this. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, color this little piece here because this is all in white. Same deal. Has a peg either side, if you guys can make that out. But personally, I find it doesn't really need the peg. It fits in well enough, especially over the shoulder here. Oops, I'm pumped up. I think I've actually had that out before. Okay, but kind of position the arm just right though, so it slings over it. But otherwise, there we go. I mean, you can kind of try to get the peg in. Again, I find it holds on just well without it. It's probably not going to pass any shake tests without you put it in hand, but you know, again, it holds in just fine for the most part without you having to use the peg. A little wobbly, but it works. I actually never tried doing the under shoulder with this thing, but yeah, holds decent under the shoulder without the peg, but again, you know, this is like a simple, solid kit, you know. Like I said, I had this thing for almost 10 years now. Probably actually 10 years now. And the joints still hold up. I mean, I don't really pose it too much usually. I just kind of have it sitting there in the same pose. But again, it's still stiff as a rock here. And it's not all loose. I mean, there's some loose pieces, but the kit itself isn't all loose and wobbly like you'd find on the older ones. So you have the shield here. Again, this is the a leftover, I guess you say, from the Gundam 2.0. Colored in little pieces here and the little screws there. Make those pop. And as you can see here, I also call it that little dial there, as well as the shield. So, or whatever you want to call that. Both sides. So, you see there, you pull that little switch up and down, and it closes up the shield. Also has this little space here, move up and down for that part of the shield. And this part here actually can swivel around as well. So there is a piece, both arm, back a piece. There's a little slot there in the back of both arms, and you could just slot the shield in. You have to hold it to the side. I actually tried it. You can't have it held any other way but this way, unfortunately. So you have a shield like that if you want to simulate that holding forward type motion, or you just have it to the side like so. And of course, you can pull that up there like that. I think you can actually do it backward. No, no, let me see. Maybe you could. Oops. Oh boy. Yeah, I think you can have it upside down if you wanted to as well. If I get this piece on properly. There we go. Yeah, so you have it upside down if you wanted to as well. I know some people might like it like that, so there you go. But also, you can mount the shield onto the back. Oh great, now that piece doesn't want to come on right anymore. What did I do? There we go. Yeah. Oh, thought I heard it snap. Ay, ay, ay. Hope I didn't break this thing. Now this piece doesn't want to stay on properly. It keeps coming off. You know, I hear it snap. There you go. Now I think it's on right. But like I said, the same piece here you use for the arm there. You can poke into the back. There you go. So now the shield can be on its back as well. And of course, you can still swivel it to the side if you desire. So we're gonna take that out. I almost forgot. The bazooka has this little tab here that you can pull out like so. And now you can put this on the back as well. So you can have it like this or like this. Actually, I don't think I ever really put it on that. I actually kind of like it like that better. But yeah, so that's cool. Fortunately, you can't put the beam spray gun anywhere, but voila. So that's actually it for accessories. Again, it's a simple kit. I can't remember the price for it, but I imagine it was relatively cheap. So it has a piece actually that would mount into the bottom of the crouch there for an action base. You can see that little gray space there, but again, I had this thing about 10 years ago, and everything comes with an action base, so I couldn't tell you where the heck it is. I had a lot of kits and shoe boxes and whatnot, so I'm sorry I wasn't willing to go digging around for that specific piece, but most of them fit pretty solid, so take my word on that. But we're gonna end this thing off with some size comparisons next to the other, or only other mass produced GM I have, as well as the Gundam Origins. So my final verdict here is, again, this is a simple, I'm gonna assume cheap kit, for me from Master Grades. If you're a fan of mass-produced suits or fetish suits, I'd recommend it. Why not? You know, you can't beat the original, right? Oh, I guess the Gundam or GM ground types are original. But anywho, now it poses just fine. It is, you know, the child or offspring of the Gundam 2.0, which is like master grade of the century. If you're into coloring, though, you'd probably want to color this thing to make it more accurate, because again, I don't mind the green. That's probably why I ended up leaving it alone. But you know, this thing is not supposed to be green. But I don't really know what else to really say. You know, again, it doesn't really do anything too bad. There are some loose pieces. You know, I think they're from them kind of doing a cobbled job from a different kit's frame. You know, make it something different. But besides that, it's still pretty solid. You know, I didn't want to throw this thing out the window with a 1,000-degree knife, and so I guess that's a good sign, right? But yeah, I think I'm kind of rambling on here. So this is Rare Modern Reviews. I thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.